Hello everybody, welcome to another review video with Candid Schools. Today we are in the bustling Wipro to Infosys corridor. We are in Sarjapur Road and we are visiting One World International School or OVIS Sarjapur. Now this is an IB school, alright, located on the Sarjapur Road, and it is amidst the IT hub with catering to all the IT parents, with almost 98% of the parents here being IT goers, and they are an IB school. They have it from nursery to grade 12. And so before we deep dive into the details of the school, let's quickly have a look at the stats. Let's talk about the school quadrant. Now, we at Candid School classify OVIS Sarjapur into our truly new age school category. Now, why new age? Why not? As I always say, because it's not only new age, it's very global. Now let's get into the details of it. Now, whether it is global exposure, so OVIS is part of a bigger network. They're part of 64 schools, group, which is called as the Global School Group. Now, this school group basically has, schools coming from different countries, from 11 different countries, and they are also a part of it, which gives them a huge advantage. So what happens because of that is there's a lot of global exposure. Kids from there participate in events here. Kids from here participate in events there. They have inter-school competitions that involve all these different countries and their flagship brand, flagship school, which is in Singapore. So there's a lot of exchanges. Many of their, competitions that happen in Singapore or other places, which naturally gives these students an added advantage in their everyday life at school. Even when it comes to the classes, like when I was talking to the principal, she was telling me about how their classes are also collaborated, whenever they have to have some collaboration, or discussions during the class hours. The two schools which are on the same topic and following the same syllabus kind of collaborate virtually, and then their kids sitting in, let's say, a different part of the world and talking about the same Pythagoras theorem maybe, which is a truly global experience, right? Whether it is in terms of the teaching method, see, IB in itself is a very unique teaching method, other than our regular mainstream syllabuses like CBSE, ICSE, State Board, etc. Wherein here it's more about presentations and inquiry-based learning, like asking a lot of questions, a lot of discussions. Like each and every class itself has about 15-20 minutes of discussion and collaboration efforts. So I think that in itself, the teaching method itself is very, very unique. If that's for any IB school for that matter. Other than that, they're also giving a lot of importance to character building in terms of kindness. And I was really happy to hear something on those lines, that some school is taking an initiative so seriously about kindness that they go to a level of showing kindness in adopting bears in Bannerghatta National Park or Bannerghatta Zoo, which I thought that they've done true justice to character building in the school, whether it is even in terms of the competitions that they have, whether it is in terms of the opportunities they have on the campus, academics, whether it is in terms of the teachers who train them, including the principal who's been with IB for years now, or even if it is the legacy that the school has in itself, right? It is to test of time. Like, it's been here since 2013. So the school has a lot of roots, a lot of history, but has everything modern that they're talking about, whether it is the kind of collaboration. So they have it until the diploma, right? They have it until the 12th. And the kids, they ensure that the kids are actually like placed into, some top-notch universities abroad, and which is also the main idea behind IB, wherein, the kids actually get an opportunity to go abroad and study. And because it's the continuum curriculum that they have, which also is the biggest added advantage that they have. And I saw that they were placed into top-notch universities here, from Oxford, Singapore, etc. So many there in the reception that I saw. So I think truly new age in terms of that, whether it is in terms of soft skill, whether it is in terms of tech, in terms of opportunities, in terms of the school, in terms of sports that they have. I think they have it all. So truly a new age school. All right, let's talk fees. Now, this was one segment that I was very surprised to know. So, usually the IB schools, now, first of all, this particular area, like Sarjapur Road, is like an IB hub. You know, not only an IT hub, but also an IB hub. There are plenty of IB schools in the locality. In about 10-kilometer radius, you'll find plenty of IB schools. And let's talk about the competitors soon, but when I was looking at the competitors and their fees, this Ovis IB school truly stands very affordable in this categories with 3.5 lakh per annum as their average, fees. Now, from nursery, it ranges between 2.5 lakhs per annum to 10 standard, which is about 3.5 lakhs per annum, and diploma is a separate pricing somewhere about 7 lakhs per annum. Now, in this entire thing, it's super affordable, but something that they've definitely ensured is that the quality of IB is not degraded because of the affordability. I think even it's about a 4-acre school that they have here, and filled with greenery, as you can see, and very peaceful out here. And though it's on the Sarjapur road, it's on the main road, you really cannot hear the noise at all. The kind of infrastructure that they're giving you, it has a huge playground, a huge soccer ground, name it soccer, football, basketball, skating. They have it all. All the basics are all checked. Other than the basics, you have your global network collaboration that they have with the Singapore network group, where you get global opportunities. Other than that, they have like really good collaborations for music. They have Shekhar Ajwani, who comes and takes a workshop every year, and then 2 of the kids from the school, selected 2 kids, get a chance to compose music with him. So the kind of opportunities that they have in the school is truly global. Whether it is the kind of kindness or the character building that they're trying to do, whether it is career counseling that they have, because they're looking at placing the kids. They have 12 standard kids here, so they're looking at placing the kids in top-notch universities. So they have a really good career guidance here. Whether it is early years program, the kind of setups that they have, that you can just run out of the classroom and it's directly connected to the play area in the early years program. Nursery classes look beautiful, and I think that's how the classes should be. Even the middle and the primary years and the middle years have they have art as a subject. They have design labs, they have coding, they have theater, they have music, they have everything you need that any IB school would give you, but at a very affordable rate. And this is what, when I was talking to the principal ma'am, this was a question I definitely wanted to ask, that why would you keep it so low? And that's what she was saying, that this was chairman's vision, that we have to give this level of teaching at an affordable cost, so that this was strategically done. So I think their fees is very affordable for whatever they're promising. So whenever I visit a school, whenever I get to talking with the management, get to talking with the owner, my idea is always to understand what is the goal of the school. There should be that one X factor that the school is, building in the kid, that that the school is trying to help the kid with. And when I was talking to them, I got to know about many activities, many programs that they have. One is one that when we spoke to the principal, we got to know about the Kindness Week, which is a week filled of activities where the kids have something called as a kindness jar, where they write down the name and the act that anybody, whoever it could be another fellow friend, could be teacher, staff, support staff, anybody, right? Who could be a part of this kindness activity, that they would write their name and their act about what kindness did they do, and then put it into a jar. And at the end of the week, they break the jar to see who did a lot of kind activity, whose name repeated the most, and that would be the kindness champ. It could be anybody, right? So that person would be the kindness champ and will go up on the gratitude wall, which is such a nice initiative, right? They also have an anti-bullying week, where they're talking about skits and games and many things that they do to help kids understand. They also have a lot of counseling sessions happening in the school during the school hours. So a lot of things that they're doing to help the kids, imbibe that kindness in them. Also, a very, very touching thing that the principal already spoke about was all about adopting two amazing bears that I thought was something so unique that a school could do. So it was all about coins for a cause, an initiative that they have where the kids actually get a piggy bank and then, they start collecting coins, and they collected 4 lakhs. And they ended up, adopting 2 bears from Bannerghatta National Park. And now they're going to have cubs, and then they're going to name the cubs. And it's such a closely connected program, right, that most kids relate to. And I was talking to 2-3 kids here, and they were all talking about the bears as if they were their friends. They were all addressing them by their name. Oh, I love Sachin, and Sachin is the name of a bear. So I think that is something very, very imbibed in them, like it's instilled in them. And so I largely understood that kindness was something that the school was kind of inching towards, that's what they wanted to instill. And then I got to know that their tagline also talks about kindness. So it says, in a world that you can be anything, be kind. And so it was a full circle. So that's what the school aims at. All right, so I did a lot of digging to understand what are their unique points. What makes this Ovis unique? What is their USP? All right, these are some of the points I understood. Number 1, strongest point: super affordable IB school in the locality. Filled with IB schools in the Sarjapur locality, and this school definitely is the most affordable school that you can get. That is definitely their biggest USP. Second USP is, this is something that I really liked was, see, this is a global campus. We're looking at IB. The parents themselves are looking at, sending their kids abroad, or that vision in mind. But you know what? They also have a lot of, traditions or rather rituals that they do that are rooted in Indian culture. That's what I really like. They're not just focused about being global. Like, for example, they were telling me about how during Diwali, like, we all have this ritual, right, where we clean our rooms, or rather our parents do tell us to clean our rooms. So we have to clean our rooms, clean our houses, keep it, bring a new spark to the entire house. They extend that to the school. They ensure that the kids at the school prep the school for Diwali, clean their learning spaces, clean all their kits, whatever they use, prep their classrooms, so that that's a small gesture to say that the Indianness is still within them, no matter how globally they do have the connect here. Second most important thing is, even during their Dasra holidays, they were telling me they have a good habits day, wherein the idea is they want to they kind of write down their not so good habits. They don't call it bad habits. They're not so good habits on a chit, and they discuss about it. Okay, these are the ones, and then they write down in a chit. And on the last day of Dasra, where you have the holy fire, where you dedicate it to Ravan and everything. So they go there, and then they throw in their not so good habit chits into the fire, and just take a moment to reflect what I've really burnt away. And then that's how they kind of become better humans also. Again, everything related to the roots and kindness and Indianness that they want to still keep alive, because yes, we do live in India. We do want to have all those Indian qualities in the school. So that was something I thought was a nice USP to have. Third, of course, their network, their global group collaboration. It's not a collaboration, they're a part of the global group, because of which they have access to 11 different countries, schools in 11 different countries. They're not all IB schools. They are CBSE schools that are also there. Then there are American schools, so like Tokyo, Philippines, Cambodia, Singapore, lot of countries. 64 different schools that are part of this, because of which they have a lot of global exposure. They have a lot of student exchanges that happen. Students come here, they go there. Competitions, which is my other USP, happen on the global scale, wherein a lot of kids from here get to participate and go to another country, participate there, just get that exposure, and that coming, to you at a very young age really matters. For that matter, I even see a lot of international passport holder schools in the passport holder kids in the school, which is also a kind of a must have, right? You want to have that interaction, you want to understand their culture. So I think in terms of culture, they're doing it all right, and these are the USPs that you must look for in an IB school. Let's talk about the positives of Ovis. Now, positivity comes from traffic jams, right? Well, I spent 2.5 hours coming to this school in the morning today, and this is a norm, a regular thing in Bangalore. It's a Bangalore thing now, but the school is being very, very mindful about it, which was the first thing as soon as I entered the campus, I think that's the first thing I talked to them. And I thought that they had really worked on this. So initially their school timing was 8:15 in the morning. They moved it to 7:50 right now. The school starts at 7:50 just to ensure that their kids, don't have to deal with the traffic, which I thought was such a mindful move. I know it takes an army to get the school running at 7:50 in the morning, which is a very unlikely thing. Most schools start by 8:30. And so, it's very important that, the school takes these kind of feedbacks and understands the situation which they are in, and moves the school timing to 7:50, which is, so that they don't have to deal with the traffic at all. Which, so they were saying that the kids are back at home before 3:30, which is hardly like 40-45 minutes for the kids to go back home, which I thought is a great, great thing for a school, being very mindful, Second thing that's positive about the school definitely is, in terms of the clubs and the collaborations that they have with different clubs. So they have really good collaborations as well. They have a lot of clubs like Everything You Need, coding, your dance, theatre, yoga, chess, no matter what, they have it all. They also have collaborations with Trinity School of Music from London for music, a beautiful music room that they have. And then they also have Shekhar Arjiani, the famous Vishal Shekhar, composer, singer, who also comes down to the school every single year and actually does a workshop with the kids. So about 25 kids get selected for this workshop, and then they go through the workshop, out of which 2 lucky ones actually do get a chance to go back with him, spend a year in his training academy, and they even compose music with him. And this happens every single year. I mean, why didn't I study here? I mean, I love Shekhar, Vishal Shekhar's music. So that's something that they do differently. Again, positive definitely is their global collaboration with all of these big names, big universities. I think another positive that they have is the career counseling here, because they need to, they need to give that extra edge to the kids who have come here for taken the IB curriculum, so that they can reach really good universities, and that's exactly what they do. So from 11th and 12th, the most important thing is career counseling. So they have a dedicated cell for that, wherein the whole idea is to ensure that they're training for their PSATs, that they're training for all the important exams that they need to have. They need to have their documents ready. They need to know how they can apply to these universities, and I can see a huge list of students placed in top universities from here. I also saw a very touching thing that a special kid actually got placed in an art school in one of the renowned art school. Had two with scholarship. I think that is the kind of care we want to take. And I'm sure all special kids are super, super talented, but it's also important to channel them to get them to their goal, to their destination, right? So a lot of these kind of good things. Another important thing I saw was, so they roughly spend about, say, 6.5 hours in school, And in that school itself, in their curriculum here during the school hours, they ensure that all the kind of things are done in one single day, like sports, clubs, your PSATs, your Olympiad trainings, your academics, your extracurricular stuff. There's like a balance where everything is included in their 6.5 hours in the day, which I thought again, a lot of things are taken care to ensure that the school is doing well, for the kids. Another important thing was the PTMs. I read so much about these online that during their parent-teacher meetings, every single parent had written about how in-depth feedback the teachers actually give about their kids. How much in detail they know their kids. Which is a very good thing. Also, they talked about how well behaved the kids were, and when I was talking to the principal, she talked about what are the layers that go behind how the kids are well behaved. So you must check out that video as well. A lot of good things about Ovis Sarjapur.
Alright, whenever the parents and their kids to the school, most important question every parent has is, what are they eating in school? So today we're here to check out the canteen of Ovis and see what all they have. And when it comes to food, the most important thing is, nutrition and balance. Because the kids send because parents send the kids to the school to have this nutrition balance throughout the day, because they give you the breakfast, lunch, and the snack. It's very important that it is balanced, so that so that the kids eat a full meal, has a very nutritious meal, and that's what I'm here to also see what all they have. So I was just going through their menu, and whether it is ragi milk, whether it is muesli, whether it is some beans and pohas and idlis. I think they have it all to keep it very very homemade and nutritious. Thank you. To keep it very homemade and nutritious, and the whole idea being that the kids should be full, nutritious, healthy, and happy, because they have so much to do in the school. So let's quickly go dig in and see how tasty it is. We're here on a bustling Thursday afternoon, and it's filled with people. Everybody's hungry, so let's dig in. I'm hungry too. So basically, they have breakfast, lunch, and snacks served to them every single day. Every single day's menu is different, and I've been told that the idea is to keep it super super homemade and super nutritious. So they have it all. It's not even you're catering to kids, so they want a lot of fun stuff to eat. They want to be, and being adults, they have to give them a lot of nutritious stuff too. So they have a mix. They have from burgers to ragi milk to mueslis. I think they have it all covered, and I guess that's how things have to be. When it comes to food, we should have a balance, we should have a mix. So let's quickly begin. So we're having some beans today. And we have some rasam. We have some curries. As I told you, the balance is here. I think everybody's favorite noodles. And then we have some rasam, and then we have some curry. Super tasty. Super tasty. Damn good. So while I complete my beautifully nutritious, healthy, and super tasty meal, while you guys go and check out the rest of the review video.
Okay, let's talk about the negatives. Now, we've heard you, we have gone through every single comment that you guys have left on multiple channels, and we have picked out the ones that have repeated multiple times, and I'm discussing those. I've just discussed all of these things with the management and understood the truth, the depth to all of these things, and then I want to share them with you. So when we are talking about the negatives, I think the first thing that definitely comes up is the management change. So 2013, the school started off as Silver Oaks, right? So from 2013 to 2021-22, they ran Silver Oaks, and the school was it was an amazing school. It was also an IB Continuum school, just like how just like how Ovis is. And the school stood for a lot of good things and a lot of positive things. It was one of the very good schools in the locality. In 2022, Ovis took over Silver Oaks, and so the problem that happened was that the management changed, and the principal of Silver Oaks discontinued, and we had a new principal in place, which obviously doesn't go very well with the parent community, because it was a very close knit school. I presume that the principal was a very, very warm, kind person who kind of knew all this. I think they had about 600 strength back then, and they knew the parents and the and the kids really well, and she knew it. And what usually happens is, we as parents, we kind of tend to connect with the owner who runs the school or the principal who runs the school, and we tend to keep our kids in there because we know that there's that governing body who is looking after. And I think a lot of things went down south when she left the school after Ovis took over, and I think the management changed, and for about 6 months they didn't have a principal. But after that, we definitely they saw a lot of parents leaving. A lot of those downfalls and turmoils definitely do happen. But I think we should also understand that this is business, right? School is a business, and these are regular things that happen in a business. Though we completely understand that the parents who paid that fees and who have that expectation from the school should not be disappointed. And so I think from then on, from 2022 on, they have done a lot in terms of, how they can make the school better, how they can make it better than Silver Oaks, how they can actually bring in that community and that the communication that existed before, and they're still building on it. They were very humble enough to agree that yes, we're still building on it. We still want to get there to what Silver Oaks was, because it was a legacy brand. It was there for years, and this school is built on their legacy. But this is also an equally big institution, with so much that they do, a corporate, a professionally taken care school where they have communications in place, everything in place. And they have ensured that even after people leaving and everything, from a 600 school, today at 2025, they stand somewhere close to 1100 plus, close to 1200 students at the end of this admission season, which I think is a tremendous effort, tremendous effort, because you have emotions of, the previous parents. There are so many Silver Oak, kids who are continuing here, which is also a very good sign, and they have done tremendously well. So this is the true story, and I think it's good to know the history, but I don't think you should judge based on that. You should definitely come down and see what you feel. Talk to the kids here, talk to the parents, talk to alumni, and I think you'll get a better idea. So that was one negative that I read about. The second definitely was about the campus, the size of the campus. That more, it's a very small Ivy school compared to the rest of the Ivy schools. So they're about a 4-acre campus. Yes, I do agree that compared to the rest of the Ivy schools in the area, they are a smaller campus. But I don't think they have done any injustice to what they're providing. So in terms of facilities and infrastructure, I think they have it all. So I don't think it's a very big negative because they have it all. But yeah, if you should definitely maybe just come down to the school and see for yourself if this really is a deal breaker for you, because the campus is definitely smaller compared to the competitors. But also you need to consider that you are paying affordable fees. So though that's not something that they wanted to do, that for affordable fees that they're reducing the campus size or something like that. But yeah, I think you can come down and weigh it down for yourself. What was the other one? I think the other one was with respect to the transportation that I was reading about, that many kids who are traveling longer distances or commuting longer distances did not have bus facilities, and they were provided vans without AC. This was something I read about as well. I saw an array of school buses outside. So I think the best thing that you can do is whenever you decide to take admission, I'd always please do mention where you're coming from, the distance and everything, and please be sure to ask the school, about what they would be providing. Just be certain about all of these things, because once you start, then you don't want to be regretting not asking while joining. So please do ensure that you're asking all these questions prior. The kind of transparency that they hold, I'm sure that they will give you an exact clear picture on how it's going to be. And I think if it's van or bus, whatever it is, please choose whatever you're convenient with for your kid. Let's talk about the top 3 competitors that Ovis has. So I've seen that parents who come here usually have 3 schools in their shortlist along with Ovis. One would be Greenwood High, one would be Oak Ridge International, and the other would be United World Academy. Now, all these schools are in the 3-4 kilometer radius that they have. And, so these are their competitors. All these are IB schools. I think Greenwood High has IB and IGCSE both, but they're all IB schools, so they are proper competitors to One World International. And I think, again, in all of this, I think the clear differentiator is their fees. So if Greenwood High would be somewhere around 6.5 lakh per annum, Oak Ridge International could be somewhere around 7 lakhs per annum, and One World again would be somewhere around 6.5 lakhs per annum, or 5 lakhs per annum. I think it's much lesser, 5 lakhs per annum. While Ovis stands somewhere around 3.5. So I think there's that would be their clear differentiator, because all of them have similar syllabus and similar offerings. Also, I think the differentiator is their global network that they're a part of, and none of those schools are. So I think, in terms of, but yes, the school size and these are the things that you need to weigh when you're looking at the competitors. But I think when it comes to IB curriculum and the teaching and everything, I think all schools are on par, with each other. But this has slightly the extra edge because of the kind of collaborations it has and the groups that they're a part of, which definitely can make a big deal for you when it comes to choosing the right IB school for your kid. Okay, it's verdict time. Well, having spent a day in Ovis today, understanding about the school, talking to everybody here, spending time with these kids, I think it's verdict time, and I have to help you figure out whether this school is a good fit for your kid or not. Well, before I even get into any of the details, I think the whole idea is, like I've always said, it's all about, understanding what you want for your kid. There's no one school fits all solution, right? So it's all about understanding what you want for your kid. Are you looking at, do you have plans to go abroad? Do you have plans to keep moving from a country to another country? Maybe you have that kind of a job, right? That requires you to move around, that requires you to, move from country to country, if that's one of the requirement you have. Or maybe you want your kid to do a master's in the US, right? Or maybe some country abroad. So that is something that you firstly have to decide on. Secondly, it comes to, maybe you just want global exposure for your kid. You just don't want them to be in the typical rote learning category. You want them to kind of be able to ask questions, like how 3-4 of them just randomly came up to me and said, "Hi, so what do you do, Varsha?" Or what do you do? What is the name of the company? And I think that is something that they encourage here, to just go and talk and randomly ask questions, which I think IB really does very well. So firstly, understand what you want for your kid. Very, very important. Why don't you write down what your priorities are, and then find a school that matches this. Now, if your priorities are that you want a truly global exposure school, then Ovis is a tick mark. If you want something that fits in, that you want global exposure but fits in my budget, Ovis is the right mark. If you want something that that you can just drop off your kid while you're going to office, Ovis is a tick mark, because it's on the IT corridor that you want in Sarjapur. So again, it's a tick mark. If you want a school that still has a little bit of Indian values, that they're still trying to give kindness, like if you just want the school to shape your kid into a truly full personality for your kid, I think then Ovis is a tick mark. If you're looking at all possible sports activities, like a holistic education that you're looking at, then again Ovis is a tick mark. So I think if these are the kind of priorities that you have for your kid, you should definitely come. Check out the campus, spend time talking to the coordinators, maybe early year program, maybe primary, middle year programs. They all have their dedicated spaces for learning, dedicated spaces for playing. The early year play area looks so well done. It's specially designed for like sensory activities and things like that. It's not just like a play area with slides and other stuff. They have their own what do you say, reading area. They have their own play area, learning area. Even primary, they have art as a subject here. I saw amazing sculptures being done. I saw, sustainability as one of the things. It's truly, multi-dimensional that they want their kids to be here. And I really was able to see that as a glimpse when I came down here for a day. But I have been reading about the school for a week. So I think you definitely have to do your homework in terms of what you want and how well aligned it is for you. I've done, my homework and given you as much as information that I can. Hope this really helps. As I always say, you have to see it to believe it and for you to make the right choice for your kid. So I really hope this fits and ticks all your boxes. This is always for you. Until I see you in the next review video, thank you so much.